Hey y'all, so you're back with me, Hazel Montserrat. I am here to guide you on the self-love journey. And as promised, last week I was talking about altars and how to connect to an altar and the importance of having an altar. And so I was like, you know what? Let me share with people what an altar is, why do we have one, and how I got connected to it. So if you are curious of tapping into your higher self, if you're curious about understanding who you are, if you're curious of understanding your purpose, and just like here to want to experience more love, then I invite you to go with me on a little journey today as we explore altar making and creating and just connecting to a sacred space for you. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, I like to start off with stories. Why? Because storytelling is so powerful. And when we share our story, we're able to connect with other people like from an authentic level. So, I'm excited to share a little bit about my story and how I even started connecting to my spirituality. Why do I have an altar? Etc., etc. So I created my first altar, I want to say about 7, maybe 8, 9 years ago, something like that. Uh, and honestly, I was like looking on Pinterest. I'm such a Pinterest girly. I like to see the visual, I like to be creative. So I like to see different perspectives and ideas. That's definitely the Libra in me. So I found this dope ass picture of this woman's altar, and it was a bookshelf. It was like one of those IKEA bookshelves that have the 4 cubes, and she had this beautiful mirror, and we had her crystals, her sage, and I like that in the cubby holders, like she had different things, and I was like, wow, I love this because it's a very organized altar, but also it's a space for me to connect. And so I ended up purchasing one of those, and that became the first altar. And honestly, that's what I still have. And I always add a different like drape over it, or sometimes I use scarves, just like whatever's calling to me. I started to create an altar because I started to connect to meditation, and I knew I needed a sacred place to just connect. And every time I saw it, it would be that place where I slow down, I listen to myself, I cleanse myself with sage or palo santo and do oracle readings for myself, right? Like that's my little sanctuary. And I had that space in the corner of my room. And I wasn't looking up any which way of how to do altars. I had ideas based off what I had saw in pictures, but I really just listened to my intuition and asked myself, like, what is meant to be in this space? And it always changes. So I invite you to be curious with the creation. This is a great way to tap into your creativity, to tap into your inner child, to tap into your whole self, because you're creating a little corner in your space, or even if you have a room, make it a room, and just allow yourself to connect, right? What are intentional things that you want to bring into the space? That was my little sanctuary right there, and I had a little pillow on the floor, and I was able to connect and know that it was there even when I didn't have the space or time. I'm just like, okay, it's there, I see you, you're a reminder. And so it really changed the game for me, and I think it's very important for us to normalize a space that's just ours. It's a place where we choose to connect with ourselves, with our ancestors, with our spirit guides, and just really listen to the body and what it's asking of us. And so, yes, that is a little bit about my story with altars. Honestly, I love it. Let's get started on how to create your altar. So, number one, you have to find a space that you want. And make sure that this space is just yours, right? It's not a place that a lot of people like are in. So don't do it in the living room, because you want to protect that space just for you. If you have a partner, that's okay. Like, just know that you are creating this corner. Communicate with your partner. This is my sanctuary. When I'm here, let me be here, And so And it's also setting healthy boundaries, right, with your partner, of letting them know that when you're connecting, that's your sacred time, and to respect that space for you. And it all starts with communication. So I love to also interconnect relationships, because we are all about relationships, relationship with ourselves and relationship with other people. So when you get the opportunity to teach someone how to love you, you create a even more safe space for yourself. So, we have to teach people how to love us, and it takes time and patience. Just like the relationship we build with ourselves, that relationship that you want to have with your partner or your kids, it all starts with you. Number 2, you have to find a table, or like I said, a bookshelf, that can be the altar space. And think it doesn't have to be this massive bookshelf, but something that's intentional, intimate, remembering the things that are important to you, that fuel you, that give you energy. And that's the kind of things that you want to have at your altar. And so find that space. If you have one, repurpose one. You don't need to go buy anything, but if you want to, honestly, IKEA was where I went, and I just found a plain one, and then I decorated it myself. So, tap into your creativity and have fun with it. Number 3, always important to clean your altar. So before you start setting it up, make sure you wipe that table down, you vacuum or mop the area. You want to start from a clean space. It's so important, because energy matters. And when there's a lot of dust and clutter, all that impacts your connection. And we have to remember that we want to have a clean and organized space. Number 4, include the elements. So you want to have some fire representation, that can be a candle. That's what I usually connect with. You also want to have some earth representation. So I have a bamboo plant, and it's in water. So that's also my water element. And really connecting to that space of connecting with the earth. So you can have like 1 or 2 plants, or just one little one. It's okay, whatever feels good to you. And then we need air. So for that, I have some incense, I have some sage, I have some palo santo, whatever herb is calling to you. Again, remember that going on the spiritual experience is about connecting to your intuition. What is calling you? There's a lot of things out there in the world, and it can be so overwhelming to be like, what do I use? And it's like, when you go into a store, take a moment to pause and listen to yourself and say, okay, what am I gravitating towards, right? If you're looking at a whole bunch of herbs, like seeing which herb am I meant to work with, right? Like, it's really learning how to trust yourself, because you know the answers for how you need to move. So it's very important that you take the time, again, to sit at your altar, to learn how to become self-aware, so that when you move out into the world, you know how to move. Yes, it's all interconnected. But I feel like an altar is the perfect way to start on your spiritual love journey. I love to call it the love journey, because it's all about falling in love with yourself and learning who you are, what you want, what you need, and bringing your magic to the world, right? Like, we all have a purpose here. And so once you're able to connect to your purpose, you can really let that lead you and guide you to where you're meant to be in this world. So we have water, we have earth, we have fire, we have air, and then spirit, which is you, and connecting to your higher self, your ancestors, your spirit guides. And so that comes when you show up in that space. And remembering that, like, the more you're connecting with the elements, the more you're connecting with yourself. Again, be intentional, because we don't just want to have a whole bunch of clutter everywhere. So make sure that you're cleaning up after the incense that has burned. Make sure you're vacuuming. And in those cubbies, be intentional too, if you choose to get that IKEA one. Be intentional. So in there, I have my oracle cards. I have like a box that has extra incense and candles and things like that. And then I have one that has journals. And so Remembering tapping into your wisdom, always tapping back into your old journals is magic because you get to see yourself and how much you've grown. So definitely tap into that, because honestly, when I started reading like my old journals, I was like, damn, I've actually grown a lot and I didn't even realize it, because sometimes we're just in the go mode, right? So when we get to slow down, you can also do that at your altar. Just read your old journals, tap into your internal wisdom, see what patterns are resurfacing, right? Like, oh, wait, I've been in a relationship like this before. Maybe I need to reevaluate what this is about. And you give yourself the answers that you're seeking, because at the end of the day, so many people can give you tools and methods and ways of doing things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you don't put it into practice. That is number one. You have to put into practice that wisdom that you know, those understandings, those different classes that you took. How are you embodying this information? Because a lot of times, like, we know so much and I can educate you, but can you really show me that you are walking your talk? Can you really move in that alignment? And a lot of us get stuck in that space of just learning so much and not embodying. So this practice of connecting with an altar allows you to slow down so you can start to connect to your body. So you can start to connect to your spirit and understand the importance of seeing yourself. Because again, doing this is life-changing. You are connecting to a higher frequency, you are elevating, you are connecting to abundance, you are connecting to joy, you are connecting to love, and we are no longer in the scarcity mindset. We are no longer lowering ourselves and allowing disrespect. We're no longer allowing ourselves to silence our voices. We are no longer allowing disrespect. We are actually standing in our power and speaking up for what is right. And there is a lot of chaos happening out here in the streets. So wherever you are, sending you a lot of blessings and love so that you stay protected. And that's why connecting with the altar is super, super important, especially during these times, because there is so much change happening and we need to be grounded in who we are. We need to be grounded in our heart, in our essence. And that's something that I actually just learned from Dr. King. Shout out to Dr. King, as it is his day today. We want to honor him and take some time. But he wrote this book and I just started reading it yesterday. And he was just talking about like connecting to our tender heart and our firm mind, and the importance of being able to have balance in both. Because when we are connecting to our heart, we can be kind, we can be open, we can connect with people. But we also need to be firm in who we are and not just get lost in the sauce or be distracted by all kinds of advertisement. We have to really see ourselves and see, like, is this something that is aligning with my purpose, with my being? And if it's not, then abundance will come. I need to let this go and move forward. And so connecting with an altar is bigger than just creating a corner in your room, but it's allowing yourself to see yourself, to understand yourself, and just move in alignment with your higher purpose. Try to go as often as you can. Honestly, it's a part of my morning ritual. I do it every single day, every single night. I make time and space. And even when like I'm stressed or I'm overthinking, I'm like, all right, I need to go to my altar. And I go there and I just sit on the ground. I have a little pillow. I also found this cute ass rug that it's shaped as a heart, centering love. And so, you know, like I said, tap into your creativity, tap into your inner joy, tap into who you are, because this space is creating a sanctuary for you. And when you start to show yourself, I am worthy, I am love, I'm abundance, I am blessed, the universe starts to bring that to you and it impacts everyone around you. So you are creating collective change when you choose to see yourself, to heal yourself, and to love yourself. And so just remember that you are not alone. We are all going through something. I'm always going through something. But I realize that the more I tap into my practice of connecting with my altar, I feel so much more peace. I know that I can handle anything. I know how to tap into my resources. I know how to tap into joy. I invite you to go on the self-love journey with me. as we continue to explore different tools, different tips and tricks and toys that we can play with to love ourselves, to see ourselves, to honor ourselves, and make this world a better place. Because you have to be the change you want to see in the world. You have to want to be the love you want to see in the world. And so I am super excited to go on this journey with you. This is, a video that I'm like super happy to put out here because this space like has really changed my life. And so I hope it inspires you to create an altar. Please comment below if you have one. Like, what do you do with it? Like, how do you connect with it? What do you have on it? And just remember, like, we are here in a place of love and joy. This community is about respect and honoring each other's views. And so please just be kind to each other. We need that more in the world. And I look forward to hearing from you, to seeing you. And if you are needing more support on the self-love journey, hit me up because I would love to connect, because I'm calling in all those souls, all those queer souls, all those women of color souls who literally are ready and want to do the work, because we out here to elevate, to empower, and to make the world a better place. So if you're ready for that lovely adventure, let's go have some fun and tap in with me. All right, much love, blessings. May you be protected. May you be surrounded by so much love and joy. I'll see you next week.